Here we are, I'm in my mint patch, and I'm going to talk to you today a little bit about different ways to use mint, because if you have mint, you have a lot of it. If you've just planted your mint and you don't have a lot of it yet, stand back, you will pretty soon. So mint spreads kind of like wildfire. Here you can see, and my patch does need weeding, and I'm happy to share that with you because I think it's important that we all know that, you know what, none of us are keeping up all of the time. We all have things on our to-do list, and messy gardens grow herbs too, right? So mint spreads. This started as a small patch, and it's I don't know, probably 4 by 5 feet wide by now. I do just mow around the edges of it when we mow the grass, and that keeps it kind of contained to this area. I have been very careful when I planted it to make sure that it was not in my main garden. So if we take a look over in the distance, we've got mint and some perennial herbs, those that tend to spread and take over, like the mint, the chives, and then I've got grass, and then I've got my elderberry row, and then beyond that is where the main vegetable garden is. And you know, it's a good thing to find a space like that away where you can grow your mint and it's not going to invade on everything else, and it's not going to become just another big weed problem for you. Now, having said that, one of the good uses for mint is that it's a great companion plant. Mint, one of the best things about it is that a lot of insects don't like it, especially a lot of like biting pests and insects like mosquitoes and gnats and things like that. So one good use is to put it in pots and in vases, or to plant it as a border, either in containers or in the ground around your seating spaces where you want to enjoy the outdoors, like a patio. This is actually pretty close to our patio here. You know, and that will help keep your areas a little more comfortable by helping to keep them away. Ideally, as an insect control or a repellent to biting insects, I would want it even closer than what I just showed you with the patio there. But again, you know, dig down, put a spade in that ground, pull out my grass, put it in some pots, and then put it around where you're sitting. And that will really help you keep your space something enjoyable. And, you know, it smells great. Other than that, you know, mint pairs really well with all members of all the food groups. So it's a great pair with different kinds of berries like strawberry and blueberry, raspberry. There are not very many berries that would not pair well with mint. I'm not even sure I could think of one. Lots of fruits, like stone fruits, like peaches. And as far, even onto like your baked goods, your breads, your cakes, your cookies, chocolate, and onto your meats, you know, lamb and mint jelly. That's a very classic pairing there, isn't it? So lots of ways you can use your mint. You know, just cutting some fresh sprigs, stick it in your water for the day, add some cucumbers to it. There's your vegetable representative. And you know, you've got an excellent infused water that's no calories. You don't even need to sweeten it. You could make ice cubes with it. Some other things I've done with it are to make an infused vinegar, which actually, if you kept that in food safe bottles, that could be a really nice base for a dressing. But I use the mint vinegar spray in my kitchen when we have ant problems. The last couple of years, we've had some big rains that have really driven the ants into the house, and that's done an excellent job of keeping them away. Sometimes I'll just take a few sprigs and I'll lay them on the outside of my windowsills, just let them sit there, let them dry, and the ants don't like it, so they stay away. So again, you know, countless ways you could use mint. If you've got one to leave in the comments, we'd love to hear about it. I've given you my list of 28, and I bet I probably will never be done with that list, because, you know, it's every time you think you're done finding uses for it, you'll find some more. One final one I'll mention, I like to put it in vases, which again helps repel ants and insects, which is a nice feature to have in your house. But I really like to use it as a filler, especially when it gets taller, and it does flower itself. You know, this mint has a nice purple flower, and I like to use it either just the green leaves, or when it's in flower as a filler in other cut flower arrangements, just helps take up that space, add some interest, and you get that benefit of it helps repel insects for whatever it's worth and wherever you're putting it. And you know, you often will find that when that happens, those sprigs will root right in the water, and then you'll have more to pot up or plant, put around your patios, give away as gifts, all sorts of things. You can see also before we go that I just pulled this and we've got some nice root. Really easy just to pull up some mint, dig up a little bit. Don't worry about leaving a bare spot, because this mint's going to fill that right back in and you'll never even know you took anything from the patch. So there you have it. Happy mint growing. Think about where you're planting them when you plant them so that you don't make this an invasive plant in and of itself, and otherwise enjoy your mint.